Hi guys, and I'm back with another review, and this review is on the Hattons Genesis coaches, the 4 and 6 wheeled variant. And this one is on the Great Northern Railway teak livery ones. And in this we have 5 coaches, 1 a pack, which is the 2 lots of 2 in the siding. And the product code for this one is H4-4 6 pack 201. And the one near the engine shed is H4-6FB-201. And the full brake, which is by the shed, was £30, and the pack itself was cheaper. It was £110 for the 4, which works out a lot cheaper than the £30 pop for each coach. And I know a lot of you have seen my reviews on the Great Western and the LNWR and even the LNER LIVERY coach. But for me, as a LNER fan, I had to get these Great Northern Railway coaches because they have quite a few Great Northern locos. So in this review we'll go through each of them as quick as possible and see if they're any money and see if they're any good and if they are worth the money still. So here goes, please enjoy. So in all of Hattons coaches, Genesis coaches, you do get a leaflet how to remove the roof and DCC fitting it, and removing the centre running board or wheels on the 6 wheel coaches. That comes in a paper leaflet with the Hattons branding at the top in colour. You also get some extra footboards to be applied in the middle of the other footboard, between the coaches and the other footboards. Like I said, there's no screws, I think there's glue on, if I'm honest with you. You get them in every coach you get from Hattons and their Genesis range. Moving on to the ends of each coach, you get, by the looks of it, 4 different ones. Let's start with the buffer beam. The buffer beam on all of them is the same. You get the usual NEM style pocket coupling, a small tension lock one. You also get a few rivets on the buffer beam. We also get a hook with a moulded on chain link as well on all of these. We have unsprung metal buffers, and most of them have an air pipe or vacuum pipe as well. And as you can see, we all have footboards already applied to the coaches. Moving on to the 4 different variants of the end coach that Hattons do on their range. Let's start with the end one. The end one is just the wood panelling with a gas pipe going up in black. And again, we have the air pipe or vacuum pipe to it. And at the top, we have some piping in white, which can clip on and off if you want to take the roof off. The wood effect on these do look fantastic. We'll get into more detail about that. Also on the end of all these coaches you do have lamp irons as well. They seem to be separately applied and also metal. Moving along to the next one. The next one is a brake one because it has the windows. The windows themselves is a massive glazing bar in the coach. But again, we do have some metal handrails at the side. We also have a different style of piping going into a T shape there as well. Again, we have the panelling too. There's not really much to look at. It's mainly what I've said before on previous ones. Moving across again, we do have metal steps in a V shape. You also have metal handrails as well, or grab rails, depending on your preference. There's no gas pipe or anything on this one. But again, we have the wood effect like we do on all of it, which looks superb. Then finally, we have the wood panelling with a gas pipe with a T-junction. I'm not sure if it's for the gas or for other stuff like electrics. I'm not too sure. I think it's the gas piping. They are the 4 that I think you get with your Hattons coaches. The roofs are just clip on and off depending on if you've got lights or not. So if you've got lights, they are a bit more difficulty. On here, we do have a few vents and we have a separately applied pipe as well. And we also have the gas, I believe, for it as well on top, the piping as well as the gas fitting. They're all smooth. Each roof is different in some places. I thought I'd just show off this roof to give you an example of how they look. Again, the roof is in white and we do have some rain ducts on it as well. As we move on to the body types Hattons do in their Genesis range, we're going to start with the Great Northern full brake. and this is a 6-wheeled variant. They don't do a 4-wheeled, it's only 6-wheeled on the full brake. For me, let's talk about the wood finish or the teak finish. For me, the teak finish is slightly better than Hornby's. There's a lot more graining going on, a lot more knots in the wood as well in this one. The Hornby one isn't too bad. I quite like the Hornby one, but this one is a lot better in detail terms. Hopefully this should be a picture of the Hornby one coming up now. We do have the lined as well on the panelling on all the coaches. We do have the word guard on the centre door, and we also have Great Northern and the number as well on the panelling in the centre. We have small handrails, which I believe are separately applied. We have hinges that are moulded on, but they look real. And then we have a ducket for the guard, which does have glazing in again as well. And all the footboards that are already applied are metal on every coach. And we also have I believe they're Monsell style wheels. I could be wrong, but they do have a wood insert as well. As we do an inside look at this full brake, again, there's nothing in it. I said this before on previous reviews of these Hatton coaches. It's the only one thing that lets the Hatton coaches down is in the brake compartment of all of the Hattons ones. There's nothing, there's no wood floor in, there's no wheel or handbrake or anything like that. We do have some moulding marks, and we also have a massive glazing bar. As we move on to another body type, and this time it is obviously Great Northern, but this is a 3rd and 1st lavatory one, and this is a 6-wheeled one. Again, the wood effect is amazing, like I said before. We do have the Great Northern crest. The 2 centre doors are 1st, and the end 2 are 3rd, and the white windows is where the toilet are. Again, we have the lining and the numbers and all that good stuff as well. We also have some stickers in the windows as well. As we do a look inside this lavatory one, we do have luggage racks, which are quite sturdy and look like in gold or bronze colour. The 3rd class in all of the coaches is in red, and the 1st class is in green, with some armrests too. The toilets themselves in this one have an apartment in between them to stop people peering through, and we also have the toilets in white. Again, we have the glazing bar like we do in all of the Hattons coaches, and we have some moulding marks too, which when they're going around, are you going to see it? No, but it is pretty detailed. As we move on to a 4-wheeled 3rd brake, again, the wood effect, like I keep saying, is fantastic. It's great, it's amazing. We do have a guard ducket, which has small bits of glazing in. We also have 2 doors for the guard, one with a window and it says guard below it, and then one with a wood panelling across. All the doors do have, which I think I said for separate applied handles on. They are very nice. We also have the crest and number and the classification of the coach. In the windows, we do have some stickers. Like I said, this is all 3rd, so all the classes here are 3rd. We also have the lining as well. As we do a look inside, again, you can see the moulding marks. You also see the brake area, there's nothing in there, but we do have glazing, like I said. The holes in the corner, I believe, are for pickups if you want to add lights and stuff. We also have the luggage racks, and we have the red seats with no armrest. These are for 3rd class, like I said. As we move on to another body type, and this one is a 3rd class 4-wheel coach. This is a 5 compartment by the looks of it, and again, the teak finish is really good. I do like it. I'm going to repeat myself again. The handrails on the doors look to be separately applied. We also have the classification, which is 3rd class, the crest and the number of the coach. We also have some stickers in the windows as well, which I believe are for non-smokers and smokers or something like that. It is highly detailed. Everywhere you look, you do see detail on these coaches. As you do a look inside, this being a 3rd class 4-wheeler, we have the red seats with no armrests. The luggage racks, again, are really good, quite sturdy. The ones at the end of the coaches are smaller than the ones in the centre. That's because of the electrics. If you want to add lights and stuff, you have a pole going between there. That's all it is. Again, we have a glazing bar. Like I said, I am sorry if I repeat myself. As we move on to the last body type I have in this rake of Great Northern coaches by Hattons, and this is a 6-wheeled 3rd brake. Again, we have 2 doors for luggage. It has luggage on the middle panel. We also have a ducket for the guards to look out. We also have a door for the guards which has guards on it. Then all the other ones have 3rd class for the passengers, and we have stickers in the windows. The handrails look to be separately applied as well, and we have wood panelling as well, and we also have lining too. As we do our final look into a coach, again, the guards area has nothing. You do see a few holes again if you want to add lights, which Hattons now allow you to do from the buy them. So that's the only reason it's got holes in it. We do have some moulding marks as well. Again, being a third class, we have red seats. The luggage rack at the end again is for lighting, that's why it's so small. And we have a glazing bar as well. And finally, we do an underneath look at the underneath of the coaches, obviously. This first one is a 6-wheeled one with the centre sledge, which hopefully the video on coming up now, which showing it moving, it's quite free moving, slightly better than Hornby's. Again, we have the gas cylinder. We also have some air stuff for the braking, I believe. The piping itself is fragile everywhere you look. We do have NEM pockets which are screwed in. We have the brake rigging already applied. We have some other holes for other details as well. On the bar going across with 2 wires sticking out, that is for the braking, and they are rather delicate and loose, and they might affect some of your running on some of your corners and track. But overall, it is a detailed underneath of a 6-wheeled variant from Hattons. Now, finally on to the 4-wheeled variant. Has most of the same features as the 6-wheeled one, apart from the centre wheels. We have metal wheels on these. We also have the same style of brake rigging as well. We also have a cylinder for the gas, a cylinder for the braking. We have brake rigging already applied. We have NEM pockets screwed again. We also have, like I said, on the 6 and at the start, we do have metal footboards glued or screwed to the chassis, depending on where you get them from. Mixture, mine have been glued and screwed at the same time. It's hard to change. We do have some axle boxes as well and springs on the underside of the wheels as well. These coaches are highly detailed. So yeah guys, that's the end of the review and the running session. Before I give my opinion on these Genesis coaches, I'll tell you what it ran with, which was, as you can tell, the Hornby Railroad / Railway Range Great Northern N2 class with only 3 of the coaches. Then in the first bit of the running session it ran with the Rapido Sterling Single, simply a fantastic locomotive, and it suits them very well, and that was the whole collection of my Great Northern stuff that I have from the Genesis range. My opinion now on the coaches themselves are fantastic. Any 4 and 6 wheel coaches by any manufacturers are great, but the wood effect on these is much better than the Hornby ones in my opinion. And the detail is a lot better. There's nothing wrong in the Hornby ones at all. Just these are a lot more detailed. These are more of a premium range than a railroad, which I want to call Hornby as a railroad one, but they are. The sad thing about it, at the time of recording, Most of batch 1 of the Genesis coaches have all sadly sold out, but there's a few more batches coming in the future via looks on the website. So if you're interested, please check the link down below. I don't get any money or anything from them, just a link to help people if they really want these 4 and 6 wheel coaches. Like I said, for me, there's lots of details. We've gone through a lot of work with these. They have luggage racks in them as well as armrests, and the seats are colour coded for the classes. We also have a toilet one as well. Like I said, I keep repeating myself. Like I said, the brakes area on the coaches do let them down with nothing in it really, not even a wheel. Even Hornby managed the wheel, even the wood flooring as well. But that's only my opinion. For me, I highly recommend these 4 and 6 wheel coaches. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Please take care and goodbye.